Alright, if you've already got your cylinder off, this is the tilt cylinder. You'll see a couple of holes here on the end cap. On the end there, the two holes are for a spanner wrench. That's a spanner wrench. Good luck on finding one. That one is off of a grinder I have. Once you find a spanner wrench, just turn the end counterclockwise. You'll see it comes right off. Once you get it loose, that whole assembly will come out. Now we're going to call that the end cap. The black end, we'll call it the end cap. Now we'll call that the piston on the end. See that snap ring? Okay. Now there's the piston. Now the piston has two scrapers and a O-ring on the sidewall. We'll be replacing that. That little O-ring right there is around the threads on the end cap. I'll go ahead and take it off. Okay, how do I get this piston off? It was kind of tricky. It's gonna be. You'll learn more by just watching what I do instead of listening to me. Probably replay it and replay it. Ordered these O-rings off of eBay. I like to lay everything out on a good clean towel so I can see what I'm doing. Especially when I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, I removed the end that holds the motor up, where the bolt goes through the bushing. Pull the end cap off. Now this is where it gets interesting. There's 1, 2, 3 seals that go in the end cap. One of them is actually a wiper. There's a seal on the inside and then one that goes around the threads on the outside. Okay. Alright, here I am looking at it. I took a razor blade, popped this, I'm going to call it a scraper seal. Pop it out. There it is. The old one. Okay, on the inside, I'm trying to show it here. Can't hardly see, but there's a little O-ring. Pop it out with a razor blade. Now, putting that O-ring back on the inside was a piece of cake. You just kind of cram it in there. It'll go. It'll pop right in place. Okay, now this little seal right here, the one I'm calling a scraper, it is a little piece of work to get back in. I actually thought I damaged it, but you just got to work with it. Just cram it in there. Keep rolling it around with your finger. This is the scraper I was just talking about. That was probably the most trickiest part, to be honest with you. A little beer makes it go a lot better. Alright, to take the piston off, you gotta find a bolt. It's gonna be hard to explain, but you need a bolt head that'll fit down in that piston. Turn it counterclockwise and loosen it up. It's kind of an inverted kind of way of doing things. You'll see what I'm saying. Once you get that loose, then you'll be able to grab that piston, maybe with a little help from some channel locks, and you'll turn it counterclockwise. Right here I'm still trying to figure out how to get it off. I'll throw a towel over it and grab it with some channel locks eventually. But you can see I got it loose. Okay. This is the piston stem assembly. Makes no sense to me. But it's real important that you get this loose because there's a hidden O-ring in here. Apparently it goes out quite often. Alright, now with the stem assembly, the piston stem assembly, put it in the vise, push the collar back, and it'll come right apart. Wow, how you like that? Now, if you look inside the collar there, you'll see that hidden O-ring. I think it's pretty important that this gets changed. Take your razor blade, grab a hold of it, pop it out. Be careful not to jab yourself with that razor blade. See that? The new one will pop right back in. Pretty straightforward. Alright, now we're going to replace the two scrapers and the center O-ring on the piston. Now these two scrapers they're not cut, they're not broke, but they're not solid round. They're kind of like a ring on a piston. See that? See how it comes apart? Now the second one comes off just like the first one. Might need the razor blade to grab a hold of it. Now there's two of them, like I said. Now the centerpiece here is a little rubber band. I don't want to call it an O-ring, but I've been calling it O-ring. It'll pop out. It's not perfectly round like a O-ring. It's got some indentions for the scrapers. Be sure to wear safety glasses when doing this. You don't want a razor blade to break and jab you in the eye. Okay, got the old one off. Pretty cool. I'm gonna wipe this down. Take the new one, pop it right back on. Make sure it's not twisted and turned. Now I'm going to install the 2 scrapers just like they were before. One on each side. Alright, now I'm going to reinstall the stem assembly into the piston. Now remember, you've got that new O-ring in there, so it's kind of tight. Push it in there real hard. Snug. Then reinstall your snap ring. Right here I took a little screwdriver and kind of pushed my snap ring back. Made sure it was seated real good. And once I got it, I went back and forth with it, make sure it was seated. Alright, now it's time to reassemble the piston assembly. We'll stick that stem down in there. Tighten this piston counterclockwise with my hand. Once I get it snugged down, I'm going to take that same bolt that I had earlier, stick it in the end and cinch it down tight. Okay, and then I'm also going to throw a towel over the whole piston and take some channel locks and tighten it. This might not be the proper way to do this, but it worked for me. As long as it's snug. Alright, now it's time to install the end cap. I'm going to spray a little WD-40 on it, and that should allow me to kind of pop it on down. There we go. I'll ease it into the cylinder. Scrapers and that new O-ring's a little snug. I'll cinch down the end cap with as good as I can get it without using a spanner. Now it's time to put it in the vise. Once it's in the vise, I'm going to go ahead and tighten down on that spanner wrench to tighten the end cap. Just snug. Pretty snug. Put the eyelet on the end clockwise. Now I'm working the tube. That's pretty much it. It's rebuilt and ready to go.